I'm here trying to figure out something. Since when in this country is it okay to be a victim? Why did that become something you wanted to do? Why do you want to, portray yourself as a victim when you're not? You want to complain about something that happened, 100, 150 years ago that happened to, your grandparents and their grandparents or their great great grandparents. Something about slavery, the white man didn't go over and just say, hey, we're going to bring some black people back to America and make them work. It didn't go that way. I'm sorry, it didn't. The Arabs went over there, bought slaves, brought them back to Europe. And then in Europe, that's when it was decided we're going to sell these to the Americans. And then after the first initial process coming from Europe, did the Americans start doing it. You need to learn your history and get that part correct because we didn't start it. And on the slavery point, there's more slaves in the world right now than there's ever been in any point in time in history, period. Okay, getting away from the slave thing, back to the victim thing. You're saying that you're oppressed. You're in one of the most privileged countries in the world. Probably not the most privileged, and probably not the freest country in the world. But America is a great country. It gives you a lot of freedoms. And some of you people want to take away our freedoms. You want to give it all to the government. You want freedom of speech, to be amended so that you can't say but certain things, and you want it to all be the things that you want to say, but none of the things that conservatives want to say. And that's not fair and it's not right. Everybody has a right to their own opinion. I've said before, I'm part Cherokee Indian. I don't use the way my people was oppressed in a political conversation. It's just not right. It didn't happen to me. And to be honest, I don't know that much about it. I know that I still have family members that live on reservations. Yes, I do. I have a grandmother that's full-blooded Cherokee Indian. And she doesn't even talk about these things because it happened to her grandparents, not to her. She doesn't use it in political conversations. And the only thing I got to say to the Democrats is you're not making yourself look good. You're promoting violence. You're promoting domestic terrorist acts. And you ought to be held accountable in the court of law for doing so. You have a right to your opinion. But your opinion cannot incite violence. That's against the law. Nothing I've said here incites violence. But yet I would be called a racist and a bigot and a woman hater, which makes no sense to me. I'm an American citizen. I have a right to say my opinion just like you do. I'm also a proud gun owner. I have a concealed weapons permit. I carry it on me all the time. I always have a pistol in my vehicle or on my person. And there's nothing wrong with that. The Second Amendment allows me to right to bear arms. And without the Second Amendment, then the First Amendment is gone. Because the second you let the government take away or abolish or amend the Second Amendment, then the First Amendment's going to be gone. Because then the people, us, don't have a way to defend against a tyrannous government. So, I just want you people to think about that. And on to a different point. This thing that they done with Kanye West, especially on CNN, that wasn't right in any way. In no way was that right. Even coming from another black man's mouth, no man should ever go to the point that he's talking about another person's dead mother rolling over in their grave. All because Kanye West expressed his opinion and it differed from theirs. That's not right. That's really, really wrong, and it's kind of inhumane. And you need to apologize to him. You really do. All of CNN needs to apologize to Kanye West. And for that matter, you need to apologize to Donald Trump as well. He's not a ventriloquist. He didn't ask him to come there. From what I understand, it was Kanye West's idea. But past that point, you know, and now these guys that are having to go in front of the Senate and the House judicial members to explain the investigation on Trump, they're pleading to the fifth. Why do you reckon that is? Why do you reckon that they spent $17 million of the Americans' taxpayers' money and they've came up with basically nothing? Huh. And a shout out to Candace Owens. You are a very beautiful, very articulate young woman. I love what you say. I love what you do. Keep it up. Great supporter. I'm kind of new to this. It's only like my second or third video, but you're the one that pushed me to voice my opinion. I greatly appreciate that, and thanks for showing me the way.